Welcome everyone. I'm glad you found a way here. That's it. What's up, Nisi, bro? Probably one of my first appearances. So everyone who doesn't know me, I'm Nisius, and we are going to cast Basilisk against Thrar and Ungurs against Jannisary, as the title might suggest. And let's hop right into it, right? Breathe against Thar. Ooh, that English. Horrible, right? Horrible, horrible, horrible. You sure aren't German? I indeed are. So what do we have? Thrar spawns with... Yes, I should have... So, Thrar with the USA. Curious what you're gonna see. Whether this is Anafas Fortress or some Rush shenanigans. And Revnak with his old and good old piece of quote-unquote Brits. Let's have a look on the line of sight. Yeah, he surely knows that Yak spawns. Does he know it? He does know it, but he is opting to get a Trading Post H1. That's interesting. I have to wait and see which his first card is going to be. Because usually you go for the CDBs as first card. Are we actually going to see the Chinese immigrants? And? Hasn't picked the deck yet. It is. Interesting. I mean, this is a map where taking the TP line is very possible. Because all the starting TPs are not within the building range of the TC.
Yes.
Doing a great job of hurting. And does it look like that Revnak got all the acts, right? Only one, interesting.
Forward march.
Only 2 yaks. I thought more spawned in 1v1 maps. Because I'm used to the team game maps where a bunch of yaks spawn, at least 4 to 5. Look at him scouting enemy base with his starting Trevor. That's some extensive scouting there. What does the scouting pattern look like? Hey, he surely does know a bunch of the scouting commission he has. Is he going 16 will? He's going 16 will. He's not doing another will. 8 with 230. With the outpost wagon, it is, right? Gotta be. Governor, yes, it is the outpost and 2 on a coin. Whereas, he's nowhere near aging. That's the issue when you go with the Chinese immigrants. You don't have your extra boost on the 3 CDBs. And with us, your age-up time is gonna be quite a bit slowed down. Can I call Middleman? Wait, did he call Middleman?
Yes.
Orders.
If so, where? Or is the ability on cooldown once you... Oh, I was curious about why he didn't took the TP, that's why. He took the Udasi. It still provides some decent night upgrade. The exploit points and the 10% gather rate for everything, basically. And the Chakram itself is a good unit. It's like the Grenadier of the natives. Revnak already nearly closing the age up to 2, whereas Thrar just clicked up the age button at 345-ish, which is very late. So Revnak will surely have the tempo advantage early on. The other server probably going to go up defensively, actually. I would totally thought that he would make the uppers in the middle. Since Thrar doesn't has the Spanish immigrants as well in H1, which shows that he is not going for any aggressive sort of playstyle. But I guess he just want to play it safe. Getting street traps, getting the market ups, doing transition, even Gangsaw. Standard 700 wood. Gonna have a look on the deck. It's like pretty standard, despite maybe the refrigeration. Instead of the refrigeration, you often see the Hessen Jägers. But it's gonna get a nice boost for the economy once your Huns run out even. Which can surely happen during the mid game. He's still not H2. Revnak knows that and he's going very greedy with a lot of manas. Okay, what is gonna age up? Virginia. Well, it is. Is he just going straight fast fortress? Which like 7 coin into the Virginia General Assembly? But he shot a lot of wood. Which means he's gonna play a little bit in H2. Taking 3 shipments. Oh, he is going for fast fortress. Maybe he's shopping wood still for the market upgrades? Meanwhile, Revnak going for the standard build. 3 wood, 700 wood, 5 builds, and then either 700 coin or 600 wood for the second barracks. He hasn't built a single barracks yet. I mean, sure, Thrar has 2 TPs, but if you just look at the will difference already, it's 15 will compared to 34, 36. Soon 37. Let's say 40. He has 40 manas out, 50. Yeah, one is still getting built there. Maybe he's opting to go for Sporters himself. If you look at the macro, maybe he's gonna build 1 or 2 more mana houses, ship 700 coin, and age up with that. Going for his own fast fortress. He's not. He's actually shipping 700 wood. I mean, maybe he doesn't need 700 coin for age up. As good as his eco now is. But you should not gather as much wood as he did. As Thrar did. When you go for the fast fortress. It's slowing down way too much. Yeah, statehood. Research immediately. Steel traps. So he was shopping wood for the market upgrades. Yeah, Revnak is going for the fast fortress or 700 coin. And he is clicking up before USA did. Usually when you go for the USA fast fortress, you're going to click up around 6 minutes. Or even a little bit before that. But 8 minutes is a very slow fast fortress. thought he could have made a few military units meanwhile. Oh, look at this housing wall on the Brits. Who needs a wall when I can have a wall of manor houses? Let's have a look at the scouting pattern. Which information already has. Oh, he actually places manor roof a little bit for line of sight purposes. Because the middle of the map, this spot is usually used for the Spanish immigrants, where you place your outpost here, your flag there, then another barracks here, then you push in with a bunch of units and edge up behind that. Oh, he finally managed to click up the edge up button at 8:30. 8:10 probably. Edge up with New Hampshire, which is the standard. I think it gives yourself the factory. And is Revnak actually going to edge up before him? Yeah, Revnak's actually going to hit the third age faster than yours did. Probably the first time ever you've seen that. Oh, what do you guys attack by? Oh, he's still... Yeah, very good treasuring by Revnak. I take that back, he just lost his explorer. Even get amalgamation, that's so greedy. But since we didn't saw any aggression from USA, it's more than reasonable to go for amalgamation and great codes. What? Nisa streaming? I am indeed streaming. So just gonna hit for a massive musketeer falconet timing, I would assume. At least his explorer's back alive.
Yes.
Just gonna pressure a bit the TP line while waiting for his falconets to arrive. Doing such a good job at treasuring. Most people, once they hit H2, just forget his explorer exists.
Orders.
Like this guy, like I did. Like I do as well. But many high-level players utilizing the treasuring to the maximum. Like hitting this treasure, and probably is on the way to the south to take this treasure as well. Now I'm very noticeable.
Ready.
Too many upgraded musketeers, 7 longbow from the age up, and 2 falconets. I'm gonna have even more in queue.
Yes.
I think I'm still getting a good few good volleys off
Yes.
before they get annihilated by the falconets.
Ready. Commandment.
Since they have negative multiplier against artillery, they don't do as much damage as against musketeers and infantry in general. But he actually threw a bit of the cannons away. All the Gatling are still alive.
Commandment.
I mean, he can afford it. He has twice the eco of the US. Of shipping grenadiers.
Yes.
Grenadiers.
Ready.
The musketeer upgrade. Firstly, he stacked a little bit of food, and now he stacked a little bit of coin. You might want to sell, buy a bit of food for that and get the 10 up. 10 batch out.
Commandment.
I'm just gonna right click all the army he has. The 3 falconets, a lot of musketeers. So, what's Thrar up to? Then regulars. He hasn't either sent the Virginia plan or the New Hampshire manufacturing, which would help him by quite a lot. Ungurs and Revnak playing its royal day, indeed. Trying his best to get the TP line back going. One thing he truly has going for them is that those regulars are very packed up with advanced arsenal tech. Even getting the Flint login. Is it gonna be enough against... I love that he just moving the Falcon. It's right under the TC. Ooh. Now these going down. I just let the cannons speak for themselves. Yeah, those Falconets are killer, Jan. Didn't accomplish a whole lot. I mean, they killed 3 Gatling guns. But now it's just gonna be a total cleanup. Filming everything. And it's GG. So it's 1-0 for Revnak. Yes. Mistakes have been made. He clearly didn't know that he can't take the third TP. And thus he adapted to go into the north and take both of the native TPs. And the HF was quite slow, the fast fortress at... What was that? 9 minutes? Yeah, 9 minutes is a very slow fast fortress for USA. They usually edge up like around here, 7 to 8 minutes. Because you have access to the fast edge up. So let's jump right back into the second game, right? Game number 2. On Parallel Rivers. Did this. Ooh, nice. Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so it's Russia against China. Revnak as Russia and Thrar as China. China not a very good pick because China's a little bit of a TP reliant civilization. And having no access to a TP means that your shipments, which are you're very reliant on, it's getting by slowed down by quite a lot. Curious to see if you're going to see the newly added quote-unquote cards, the T export, which gives yourself the console wagon, edging up, aligning yourself with Russia, going for the blockhouse, going aggressive, or defensive, depending on how you want to utilize the blockhouse. One thing many players don't know, that they're actually goat spawning the north of the map. Especially with China, you don't want to focus as much as broadcasts. You don't want to focus as much on treasures, but you want to focus on all those goals you can get. Because the village also act as a livestock pen. They don't fatten as fast in H1 and 2 as in 3. Because of the nerfs in the recent patch. But if you just give them enough time, this right here is just 900 food. Russia going for standard distributism, and China going for... Haven't picked the deck yet. So a little bit hesitant. He's even going for 3 villages. This would be indeed very greedy. Going for 3 villages, northern refugees, and then tea export. Yeah, might be right on that. Yeah, this villager is just gonna hurt in the last Marco Polo sheep. Oof, yeah. It really hurts when you do a shift click and the herd moves away from your shift click, so your herding just got and set to that direction into the north. Hurts to see. But he will get a 4 villager shipment. Which also means that he'll age up at like 4 minutes at best. Or 30 even. Depending on if he wants to idle TC or not. Meanwhile, Revnak already aging with 14 wilds, which is standard. 2 forward wilds to place a blockhouse right in the middle here. Right here, I would assume. Mostly just place right around the edges on the TC build limit. If you have to look at the decks, it's pretty standard. Maybe you don't see as often the Reformist Thar, the church card, which gives you the Dragoons and Alps, if I remember correctly. And as well as the one-time tag, which upgrades all your units for a smaller amount of pots. Could be very good for like fast fortress builds. Because one huge advantage of this card, if you want to go for this tag, is that your blockhouse and stables are not gonna be idle. Because you research it at the church. And still H1. Yeah, 430-ish is age up time. And this guy is so stuck. No. Does he see it? Doesn't spot it. At this point, you might as well put all of your wheels on it. I mean, surely the first 4 wheels cut off each 1 minute of the wonder. And each of the 4 wheels following only cut up 30 seconds from the age up time. But he's going to face a strong and hefty army soon, which he doesn't have access to. Yeah, 5 Cossacks, 5 Musketeers. Might follow it up with the 13th Strategy even? No. 7 on the wood, very intelligent. To keep himself from house. Yeah, and what is China gonna do now against all this idle time you're going to have? Not a single shipment of his can stop Musketeers and Hussars to keep him from idling. Like, if he shipped the Chocanu, those Scots are gonna deal with them. If he shipped those Young Pikemen, guess what? The Musketeers gonna deal with them. Haven't gone for the blockhouse as well. Only he allied with the Germans. This is one thing you rarely ever see. Aligning yourself with the Germans usually happens around the 10-minute mark. When you shipped in your blockhouse, etc. Because Germans only give yourself a boost once you actually have a unit building, such as the War Academy or the blockhouse. Because it gives minus 15%. Dude. For the might build Otan. Yeah, it's the wrong build though. He doesn't have a TP. At least as it looks by it. Yeah, that's like... The Mito build is not mint against aggressive nations. The Mito build has been mint towards more passive nations, such as Japan or Brits. Yeah. And it is a nice map for the Mito build too, because you don't have access to a TP. So you might as well shop for a third village and receive that building XP. I mean, it's only 36, but 36 is still a lot in early shipments. It's stacking a lot of resources. 500 food, almost 200 coin, having 6 idols in his TC. Whereas Revnak having the time of his life, just keeping the opponent idle. While also having soon more villagers than China has. Yes, now there's not much China can do. I would have loved if he excluded one of the mercenaries maybe for the irregulars, which enables your TC to one-shot every single Russia unit besides the Cossacks. He's trying his best to kill the cavalry with his villages. Wheel punching. He's going to have his first army out soon. How did that went down? Ah, yeah, he accidentally deleted that. I was like, what? Perfect didn't see that down. Right. It's GG. So it's 2-0 for Revnak. I'll just give the score for the heck of it. Yeah, he just went for the wrong build. Ouch, yeah. I feel against Russia, any version of the town militia card is strong against Russia because it enables you to one-hit any single infantry Russia has. Yeah, GG's. But it's not the only one that I'm gonna cast. Also gonna cast Ungurs against Jannisary. Maybe then we're gonna have a little bit of closer games. The pause game doesn't gonna tell us much. A lot of units killed. I guess most of them were due to TC fire and wheel punching. Maybe Wilgraf? Yeah. It wasn't worth it. Going for the Mito build. Mito build is good with maps without a TP. But not against Russia and Aztec, Haudenosaunee, all the Cis which can apply a lot of aggression. And it seems like that Revnak also didn't have a lot of idle time with his TC, which I struggled a lot when I go for 14 village up into army. So I have to decide which I make, a villager or army. But he did a very good job there. Not idling. Okay, so let me edit the scoreboard, which is Ungurs. So this Jannisary. Hope it is right. Yep, looks good. Right. On to the next series we go. Yeah, GG's. Okay. Ungurs was Jannisary. Game number 1. Which is... Oh, I love it. 2 nations which are not so often seen in the high-level scene. Which is Jannisary with Ethiopians against Revnak with the... not Revnak, Ungurs with the Mexicans. Very interesting choices. During the last cast which he did, we have seen actually quite a lot of Ethiopians. We have seen 2 Ethiopians during the 2 series. But I think it's the first Mexican we've seen, right? At least from the few matches I've watched. I hadn't saw Mexico at all. Where he's opting for a market start, actually. Usually you'll see the TP enter house. And instead he's going for a market enter house. I'm very interested in what build he's going to go. Is it just me, or does it look like that he's slower than usual? No, I think the game is a little bit slowed. Yeah, I think I have to restart the game after this. Do they have a big deck yet? Yes. Edgemans Throw H1, yeah. I think it was by 1, right? It was previously 6.75. Okay, what do we have here? It's looking a pretty standard deck. Only 8 cards in each age. Also land grab, which is a very versatile card. Because Mexicans had a various age up, which... Nice snare on that. Which relies around the haciendas. Either haciendas for housing space, haciendas generate resources, haciendas spawn villagers, or even those javelineers. Which is why this card is a very good choice for Mexicans. Oh, nice. Going for the 100 food. Which allows him to age up 1 will earlier. If Jannisary doesn't snipe that. Oh. I think he actually is. He's not. So close. Age up with the... it's like the standard when you age up for fast fortress or something. I think this age up was, which gives you 1 free upgrade in your barracks, and the second one was, which gives you the double age up bonus. He's also aging up in a quite competitive time, around 3 minutes. He opted for Trinity. And I have not a lot of ideas in a 1v1 Ethiopian deck. But this is like pretty standard for me, despite the 700 food crate. And like a few of the Edge 1 cards. As well as the Parzokli gold. Does he go for a TP in transition though? Or does he opt for the Cathedral start? Because I'm playing Mexicans lately a lot. I mean, not lately a lot, but in general a lot. And I'm very curious about other build orders high-level players do. Okay, one thing. What does he edge up? Habesha. Okay. I think it was the one which gives you coin, right? Or was it the one which gives you influence and the native embassy? Gonna see it in a second. It is. It is with the coin, so he maybe opt for just a straight fast fortress. Or he just used the coin for additional Abens, which are going to be useful at A, gathering coin, at B, keeping this the best mortar alive. Oh no, it's actually the map hack and the fisherman. I've seen it quite a lot. Almost entirely, almost always this H up to H2. Just alone for this H1 card. Which gives you basically a map hack for like 10 seconds, I believe. And it also gives all of your units more line of sight. Which is quite a big deal, especially with Cav, since they have less line of sight than skirmishers and raid infantry. Interesting. Parzokli gold. That's very greedy. That's a very interesting build order. Maybe it is worth it because he's opting to go Desert Archers. A completely different build order than the previous games which he casted. Trying to get a few shots off the villagers. It was wood, right? Yes. Is he going to go 700 coin afterwards? Or a unit shipment? 600 wood even. Oh, now he's adding TPs. I was looking for. He hasn't either the Cathedral, right? No, he has not. Just going for skirms. Which Desert Archers trade positively against. Because they have more range, and they don't have a long setup animation as Ungurs have. Because they're basically the upgraded version of the Fulani Archers. Also have the same movement speed as Saltadores. Mix in Sardaus in the perfect time. As Jannisary just is about to add a few desert raiders. Okay, so we went 3 votes, Trinity into desert archers. Those are kind of blast cannons, aren't they? With low HP, high attack. Meanwhile, Ungurs is about to take the entire DP line, upgrading this stage code even, aka trade card. It's named on different maps differently, but the effect is the same. Another shipment ready. Curious about which it's going to be. I think Chinagos are actually quite good now. The desert archers, which are going to arrive, and a lot of them are going to be. Probably around 8 plus 5, they're plus 10 actually. Yeah, that's a lot of units. It's taking a little bit of shipments. 700 coin, which he's either going to use on even more units or focusing on an age up. The score also looking in favor of Ungurs. I think 1,000 coin inventory. So this is right now a 2,000 coin shipment. He also only has 5 payments out, right? Yes. Ethiopians have attack for 500 influence, which gives you the ability to train 5 more Abens. Didn't go for went for that. A lot of Sadados for close to no cap. And we are going to see an age up with the San Luis Potosi. Whatever that is. No idea. I'm more familiar with the age up themselves and not with the names. Despite I played them quite a lot.
Saludar. Ya. Listo para la emboscada, comandante.
Oh, nice. He's even going for 15% outlaw hit points. But all of these units are very vulnerable against one shipment, which is two heavy cannons, two fucking nuts. And 16 dams for the price of 500 food and 500 wood is ridiculous. And that can even get upgraded by cavalry combat. And they also can be trained from the fort. So there's sort of a fusion from the Spanish and the USA civilization. Yeah, and there it is. 2 falconets. Oh yeah, it was this one, which gives you 2 Shinakos for each shipment you have sent so far. And around like 12-30 minutes, you're gonna have 10, 12 Shinako shipments, which is ridiculous. For an H2 shipment, H3 shipment, that is. Stacking a lot of resources. Might want to add some more units with that. Just some Shinakos. Since Shinakos also deal like hazard-ish damage against cavalry. Here's went for 1 corner upgrade. Laser mines it is. Question, what is a follow-up for Ethiopians, though? There's not a whole lot he can do to conquer these two falconets. One thing those Desert Riders have going for them is that they do siege attack damage. And those Musketeers have melee resist. Means they do more damage against those Musketeers than normal cav. But they are as well very expensive units. With 50 food and 130 coin. Gotta be careful here. About to lose a lot of units here. He's going... Is he going to get both buccanets down? Oh. Actually. That was a worthy sacrifice. Since now he doesn't have to answer again against all those desert archers. Still stacking 2 shipments. I think he's uncertain himself what to send. Maybe he's saving the wood for the cuirassiers, which is the answer for the entire mass of desert archers he has. I think it is. Yes, it is. Because it is a mercenary shipment, it's going to take longer than usual to arrive. You might also want to take up the Shinakos and ship the Shinako shipment afterwards. For a huge cow switch. Another raid on the coin mine. Since he realized all he needs is coin mines. Just checking with a few units on the coin mines where the units are at. He's also actually going for even more soldados. Nicely timed as well. Getting those Shinakos and Cuirassiers out basically at the same time. Uh-oh. Those are a little bit too exposed, those desert archers. And what do we see? Yeah, those desert raiders going to melt. Very nice split shot. 3 desert raiders going down simultaneously from one volley. Yeah, and those desert archers are gonna live a long life. He lost almost 20 desert archers for the price of 2 cuirassiers? 3. Or 3 cuirassiers. Not worth the trade. Does the cure shipment allowed? Yes, that's a cure shipment allowed. And he's still stacking 2 shipments. And those could have been just calf combat. Nice call. Yeah, cap combat in 1000 what it is. For I assume it's going to be a Shinako switch. Maybe cavalry combat, 1000 wood, and then Shinako shipment. Which is ridiculous by then. 11 Shinakos? It is like more than an H4 shipment. For the price of an H3 shipment. I mean, the opportunity cost of this H-up is your H-up bonus, but...
Listo. Saludar. Ya. Listo. Saludar. Ya.
Oof. many people underestimate the power of soldados. Not only do they have more HP than a regular musketeer and more attack, they also have more melee resist, which makes them very effective against cavalry melee combat.
Listo para la batalla.
Oh, is he gonna miss a badge? No. Nice, he just made it in the last second. So what's the follow-up for Jannisary? He's gonna age with Sudanese, which gives himself access to what are they called? The Sudanese units. I forgot what exact name they have. I feel like there's no way of coming back to this game. Ungurs just has such a high unit mass. Yeah, I know he's stacking into veteran Shinakos. 11 Shinakos shipment? Not a whole lot he can do against this. Since he lost all the watchtowers, he can't make units. As those have very high siege attack. With 38. Yeah, as I said, 11 Shinako shipment is ridiculous. Yeah, true. And I mean in general, with the 25% melee resist. Actually added a cathedral. Unsure when he did it. The build idea was neat, I have to say. Going for desert archers and desert raiders? Yeah, desert raiders. Was a very nice idea. He had certain success with it, but I feel he had to age up earlier in order to compete with the Spanish army. Mexican army. He got a very nice trade with the two Falconets here. He got a very nice surrounding with the Desert Raiders. Yeah, here. Which was like the biggest threat of Ungurs army compared to the Jannisary army. Okay, that's 1-0. Let me edit. 1-0 for Ungurs. Just like that. Right back in the second and maybe final game. On parallel rivers. So Jannisary is the big second. He has a counter pick. Yeah, this chat is still from the last game, by the way. For all people curious. So Ungurs picked with Weeds and Jannisary with... Who is this epic calf? I have no idea. What's your name? Oh, so both nations are exceptional picks on this map. Maybe Swedes not as much as Dutch. Because on this map specifically are only... Oh no, there are 2 cane mines. Never mind, only the starting mines and 1.5k coin. So both nations are then exceptional picks on this map. Because you don't have access to TPs. And also livestock, which you can just delete under your tops. Let them gather from them. And then in terms of economy, Dutch will have a better time early on. Because the banks have less of investment compared to the tops. They get good faster. And you also have to invest into 2 cards with sweets. One's blackberries and the other one ironworks. Whereas Dutch can just build them right away. But I assume you're going for the 14 village up, which is standard since many, many years.
Yeah, hello.
Yep. No, 50 village up, my bad.
Okay.
In terms of deck, it's pretty standard. 8 pikes, 3 hussars, bank wagons, 600, 700 wood. 7 and 9 waters, 8, 7 skirms. Both combat cards. As well as Swiss pikemen. Doesn't it as standard? Many people include the Ford or any other mercenary unit, depending on the map.
Commando?
And exceptional herding for having all the deer under his TC. Same goes for Ungurs. Yeah, he should have picked it up banner, right? Yes. Which is interesting. Leather cannons. You don't see this card as often. Instead of this, you might see what they called hacker pellets, I think. But probably gonna go for the standard 3-vil, Dominions, 700 wood, and then either blueberries or Engelsberg ironwork. And he didn't collect the 30 wood. No. I hope he catches up to that. That he didn't pick up the wood. This map is also certainly quite nice for sweets, because all those mines are very spread out on the map. The one here. This mine is almost always safe. If the front base is like not like here. Like the mines are spread out in the north, in the west, in the middle. It's really hard to catch up to all of these mines. Because some are really hidden in the corners. And if you don't do extensive scouting, like he is, like Ungurs is,
Hello.
you can certainly miss their mines. And with that, some tops. And there you can kind of see the difference between the 102 they added, which gives sweets a lot of more tempo. Aging up at like 410, which is like a 240 age up time. It's ridiculous fast compared to before, where sweets at earliest could age at 3 minutes and later.
Claire.
Aging with the quartermaster, and he is age up with the naturalist or with the naturalist, which is more the standard age up if you don't get pressured early on, because you, as I had said earlier, can just delete those cows under the torps, and they gather it for you. No minions. So just 700 wood first. Which might be opting for me that he doesn't go for a very greedy torp boom. But just gonna play it like the British, where they just use the wood for the houses. Which is understandable. Because Dutch eco is finished faster and also takes action before Swede's eco does. Swede's top eco, that is. Because you have to invest at least 4 cards, like Dominions, 700 wood, blueberries, and Angry Birds Ironworks. Whereas Dutch only has to invest 3 ships. 700 wood, 1 bank wagon, and 600 wood. Going for a stable start as well. Has he scouted that? Curious to see. So, Ungurs didn't scout the stable? Oh, he hasn't scouted that yet. Whereas Jannisary has scouted that with his envoy. Oh, interesting. He's going for Dominions now. I thought it would be more efficient to ship Dominions first. And Dominions enable you to... There are like 2 home shipment points. One is military and one is economic. It allows you to let the economic shipment point send into your torps, which allows them to gather the crates by themselves. Which means you don't have to waste villager seconds for them to collect the wood. Because you just let the top to do that. Oh, he didn't saw that. Interesting. Also, this could have been a dead will. Instead of a raiding party, you have a torp-wagon party. He got 2 batches of 5 out. Whereas... Janisary's first batch only was 3 hussars. Which is a small but significant lead. It can snowball later on. Jannisary already on 4 banks. I think the 5th bank with a 600 wood shipment, I would assume. East house though. Are they going down? 21 more to go. So it looks like he used the 700 wood for more infrastructure. For market outs maybe. And this is what I mean. Let the torps gather them for you. One thing you could have done better is shipping shipment point to here, and that's a rally point towards the mine. So the crates don't spawn here in the back, but in the front, which allows them to let multiple torps gather wood for you, which can result in a certain amount of income of wood. Quite funny to see. Okay, it's aging up at 8 minutes with 4 ranks. So I can get the rider out. They didn't have the hussar mass to compete with the 10 to 15 hussars he already has. Yeah, 15 hussars. 1 went down to TC fire. 22 idols. This entire eco is idle in the TC. But it's certainly worth it. Exile Prince? Exile Prince. 14 out of 20 torps.
Hello.
Ingersberg Ironworks, yes.
Ja, hallo.
So you won't send in blueberries. By the time you would have another shipment,
Ja.
a lot of the berries would have been already out. So blueberries only spawn on torps which have a berry bush.
Hallo.
And those berry bushes, when they run out, blueberry will not take an effect. You might just skip it clearly and go for blackberries instead. Which is 1,000 berry shipment, like 1,000 food for each berry. Which could be 20,000 food shipment if you're thinking about it like that. Okay, so he has 2 barracks as stable, going for the most famous Skirmgoon composition. Might need to buy a little bit of wood just to keep himself from being housed, but he's listening to me. Damn. Just now getting 3 drops. Okay, I think we're gonna see a must-cast composition against a Skirmgoon composition. A nice little wall. Keep himself safe from raids. So those hussars are easy, like forced to go to this small choke. Or go for the long way around.
Ja, klaar.
Yeah, Red Carolines.
Is Majestät?
I would assume this is next. As long as he is, like, when he has 200 wood, he's going to upgrade his hussars next. Yep. As I said. Finally scout the 2 Rexes and 1 stable. Exceptional macro for this composition for 2 Rex and a stable. Nearly no floating resources. Sending 1,000 coin. Interesting. I thought 1,000 wood would be better for the houses, for a few market upgrades you might miss, for the 5th banks, for Artillery Foundry, for core overruns, for a lot of things. The 1,000 wood can be used quite versatile. Maybe go for natives. Like, all natives are not gonna be interesting until like age 4. Both the same, right? Yeah, both then. And 700 resource for 1,000 XP is very, very cheap. If you consider the mercantilism cost 1,500 coin for 1,500 XP.
Befehl? Is Majestät?
And yes, 2 falconets.
Redo för strid.
Befehl?
Probably gonna get another batch of 10 Shaolins out. Yep. And he's now going to about to max out his top, the Gangster. And the Ego has caught up to the Dutch economy, as we see in the score.
Klar, Commando.
It's gonna jump a little bit more once the falconets arrive. Will he age up to 4 even, I wonder? No, he's about to add some falconets himself. I'm very curious to see how expensive buying 100 wood is.
Ja.
Very interesting that he's opting for
Ska jag sikta?
falconets instead of going for culverins.
Commando.
But I think Skirmgoon culverins straight up counter Muskas
Is
Is
Majestät?
Majestät?
falconets straight up. Even if you micro is not like on par with the enemy,
Var ska jag sikta?
your culverins have more range and thus you have a little more time to react to the
Redo för eldgivning.
falconets and army.
Redo? Befehl?
He scouted that. Ungurs, that is. And we're gonna focus it immediately. I'm gonna send this Hussar straight up to the Falconet. Take it all in. Okay, now the famous Falconet battle arrive. Gonna win that. Oh, is he gonna cancel that? No, he can't. Cavalry in charge. Get him. Ooh, one fuck down. One fuck down from him. And his fuck is still alive. Wow. Hussars and Galleons are straight up connected to the skirmishers. Plus 12 everywhere. 11, 12. Such a good cleanup. The last of 5 ready. 2 Hussars raiding the remaining villagers on the coin mine. Taking 2 shipments again. Ungurs! Send your shipments. You're gonna sit on 2,000 res. Okay, going for snap block, which increases the range by 3. By 3. So essentially 15 range musketeers. And it also increases the range from the Hacker pellets by 1. Wait, or by 3 also. By 1. I mean, which is a double of increase of range, since they have 1 range, I remember correctly. And look at the score difference. 5k already. He sees that. He's trying to contract the Reuters. He saved them all. Yeah, he saved all the villagers. Quite impressive. I definitely want to kite with those Reuters. Goons don't win straight up against Hussars when they are into melee. Is Sweet OP? I don't know, you tell me. Or it's just Ungurs. What if it both? What if it is both? Sweet's got been way more appealing lately. I mean, it's only quote-unquote 100 food buff, but 100 food early on can be a huge deal. Still, you have another shipment ready. If I could one advice to the pro Ungurs is spend your shipments. A lot of the time he's like the first match too, he's stacked a little bit of shipments. It's hard to keep track of everything which is going on Age of Empires 3. Like first you have your minimap, your resources, your micro in general, your home city. Who can blame him? Alright, GG, that's 2-0 again for Ungurs. There was some very fast matches. Let's have a look on the thing I have most. Just Ungurs. Best that it's edited. Yep, and as I said, the Dutch will have the economy lead early on, and after a time, Swede will get on the lead. But no one can compete with the Dutch coin eco. Build up. He didn't lost a whole lot of raids to do it to raids. Only 1 villager. And then, well, on the end, on the last fight, when he got raided on the village on the coin mine, was a worthy sacrifice to save his writers. Oh, well. But I think that's it for me. Thank you all guys for watching. We're gonna see you next time when we cover the other dudes who played. Thank you, and see you soon. Also, by the way, that right there is me.